So really, the key word for today is authority. It's about positioning you as an authority in your field. And there is a real difference between being an expert in your field, and a lot of the women entrepreneurs that I work with are really experts in their field. But being an authority in your field is the difference between being seen and being invisible. And, we all kind of have this feeling that we have a book inside us that we'd like to get out. But I don't know how many of us really appreciate why a book actually matters. Well, the first point, of course, is, there's a preference when it comes to who clients work with. If they are seeing that you have your work published out there, they're 86% more likely to want to work with you. Also, you can command higher fees as an author. And you wouldn't think that that would necessarily be true, but it's proven fact. And then, of course, there's the trust factor. People are 6 times more likely to trust your content knowing that you are a published author. And then, of course, professional appeal. If there's a completely, anybody can say to you, I know what I know, but when you can actually read what they know, it makes a huge difference. So, what's the cost of not having your work published? Well, of course, there's lost visibility. And high value clients specifically seek out published authors. Without that book, you're invisible to that segment. And then, of course, lost credibility and positioning. And this is just like, look at everybody in your niche. Compared to a published author, you're fighting an uphill battle in terms of credibility. It's like that doctor title, it's like that professor title. Does it necessarily mean you're better? No. Does it mean you're perceived as better? Yeah. And then the lost pricing power, because the authority that comes from being a published author means that you are in a stronger position to able to command better fees. And then lost competitive advantage. And this is just really boils down to visibility. So, I mentioned at the beginning of this call that I'll be completely honest with you. I actually wrote a book with AI a couple of years ago, but I did it without the right strategies, and I did it on a platform most of you probably know, ChatGPT. I wrote 124 A4 page book in 15 minutes, but it is absolutely nothing I would have wanted to publish. Fast forward to last year, developing the right strategy, I produced a book that I was super proud of, that was written in my voice, with my knowledge, my expertise, that has now been really well received. And the strategy that I used to do that was, first of all, market validated blueprinting. And I'll explain what that means later in more detail. Then a CEI ghostwriter framework. I just said, if you just try to write a book with ChatGPT, for example, without the right strategic approach, you will end up with either gobbledygook because it hallucinates when you're trying to tackle larger projects, or it won't write in your voice, which is where the next part is so important, having that voice guardian. So let me deep dive into that a bit more. What we're looking at here, first of all, is the market validation piece, right? And this is about making sure you have the right workflows and strategies to really deeply research what you're doing and what you're about to do before you even write one word. We all know what we'd love to write about and what the message we really want to get out of us. But the problem is, and I say this with respect, no one really cares in today's fast-moving world what you think and what you offer. What they really care about is the solutions you have to solve their pain or to bring them pleasure. And that's where the research part is really, really important. But you have to know how to use AI to do that in a way that really produces high quality results. And then, as I said, really identifying if what you're about to write about really solves a problem for people. Because when it comes to non-fiction, the main reason people are reading is to, number one, increase their knowledge. But more importantly, when it's around business writing and reading, you're looking for solutions. And you really have to make sure that what you're offering actually aligns with the real problem. And then your book concept, validating your book concept. You know, is what you're planning actually going to land well? Oh, sorry, wrong way. And then, of course, creating a strategic structure. Because when it comes to writing, particularly if you're using AI, you want real consistency. You want everything to flow and you want to be building on a narrative. You don't want disjointed bits of information strung together. And this is exactly the kind of strategies and workflows that my training actually provides you with. So, if you risk doing it in that way, if you risk if you don't do the research, you don't follow highly structured strategic market research and validation steps, you're going to end up writing a book that no one wants to read. And that is super damaging because of course, this process absolutely fast tracks getting a book published. But if you haven't done it in the right way, of course, you've wasted your time and effort. And of course, it's like soul destroying as well. But, the manuscript, the book itself is a vehicle. And what are we trying to achieve with this vehicle? We want visibility. We want conversion. We want that book to be a tool to actually convert paying clients. And then, of course, lost authority. So let me just go back one, lost authority. Because if the book doesn't land well, instead of boosting your visibility as an expert in your field, it does the opposite. It undermines your authority. And that's the last thing we want. And of course, the competitive advantage, the missed competitive advantage. So looking at the first step of this, it's what happens before you even write the first word. It's that high speed, high quality research. It's identifying your ideal reader. I mean, I've worked with over 4,000 clients, and before I start any training or write any content, I still go through specific workflows to make sure that what I'm about to offer really does resonate and align with their needs. And validating your book concept, as I said, that market research and then making sure that what you're planning is exactly what people want to read. And there are some really, really great ways to do that. And then the structure is key. Because if your book doesn't flow, if it's not a good experience to read it, of course it does nothing that you're intending for it to do. And then, making sure that, you want to do that research, you want to use AI to really find out, but that doesn't mean you want to change who you are and what you're doing, right? It just means you want to make sure that you can adjust and navigate and adapt so that what it is that you're really trying to communicate lands in the right way. And this comes down to the structure piece also, right? So what I'm going to do now, and I'm praying that the sound works, is I'm going to get my AI clone to do a little exploration of the different types of book structures that sell the best when it comes to non-fiction knowledge transfer for business. Please do let me know if you cannot hear this.
Hello, beautiful business builders. I'm Sid, and welcome back to Aim to Grow, where we help you save time, reduce overwhelm, and grow your income. If you're ready to write that non-fiction book, the one that establishes your authority and attracts aligned clients, you need a blueprint. A solid structure is the secret to a book that sells itself. Let's dive into the 10 best-selling structures you can copy today. We're starting with the most powerful structure, the one that guarantees reader engagement, the problem-solution structure. You start by naming the reader's biggest pain point, then present your unique system as the clear, necessary solution. It hooks the reader emotionally by validating their struggle and immediately promises them tangible relief. It makes your solution feel essential. Next is the how-to or step-by-step system. This breaks down a complex skill or goal into a series of manageable, sequential steps or modules. It provides a clear, actionable path. Readers feel a sense of control and accomplishment as they move through your proven process. Third, the big idea or manifesto. The entire book is built around one powerful, transformative concept, a new way of seeing the world, like Simon Sinek's Why. It's highly memorable and shareable. It creates a paradigm shift that changes the reader's perspective and establishes you as a true thought leader. Fourth, the principles or rules-based structure, a collection of codified rules, laws, or principles for success in a specific area, like Ray Dalio's principles. It positions you as a wise mentor sharing a lifetime of wisdom, providing a timeless reference guide that readers can consult repeatedly. Number 5. The story-driven or narrative structure. A series of compelling stories, case studies, or personal anecdotes woven together to illustrate your key lessons. Stories are engaging and memorable. They create an emotional connection, making your advice relatable and easy to absorb. 6 is the journey or transformation arc. The book follows a challenging journey, yours or a client's, that leads to a profound transformation. It taps into the universal hero's journey, inspiring readers by showing them that change is possible and providing a model for their own growth. 7. The secrets of calm structure. The book promises to reveal hidden or little-known strategies used by highly successful people or organizations. It creates a powerful sense of exclusivity and curiosity, making the reader feel like they are gaining access to insider information that gives them an edge. 8. The case study model. The book is built around in-depth analyses of specific real-world examples to deconstruct success or failure. It provides concrete proof for your theories and makes abstract concepts easier to understand through tangible, undeniable evidence. 9. The foundational text or Bible, a comprehensive encyclopedic resource that aims to be the definitive go-to guide on a particular topic. It becomes an indispensable reference tool, positioning you as the ultimate authority in your field and ensuring long-term relevance. Finally, 10. The Q&A or FAQ structure. The book is organized around the most common questions people have about your subject. It is incredibly practical and easy to navigate. Readers can jump directly to the information that is most relevant to their immediate needs. There you have it, 10 proven blueprints. Choose the structure that best fits your message. You have the knowledge, now you have the structures. Join our upcoming Authority Book AI Sprint training to start writing and gaining visibility in just 8 hours.
After you've done your research and you've decided that one of those 10 or something else is the right structure for you, within our training, the upcoming 8 hours, we have a workflow on how to build out each and every one of those different book structures. So there's no guessing, there's nothing you have to do on your own. You're literally doing your research, plugging it in, and then you're getting your writer to do it for you. So, rather than thinking of AI as something that will write the book for you. Think of it as a ghostwriter that co-writes with you. And each step of the way, you are training it to speak in your voice with your message, also aligned with the structure that you've chosen. And there's no guesswork in this. We provide the workflows, the prompts, and the step-by-step process for each one. But more importantly, we do it in the training. Does that mean that at the end of the training, you're going to have a book that you can immediately upload to Amazon? That's up to you. I wouldn't do that. There are certain procedures you take to make sure that it's proofread properly and edited properly after. But by the end of the 8 hours, we guarantee you will have the first version of your manuscript. And if for any reason you don't, we'll make sure we work with you on a one-to-one basis until you do. I mean, as I said, I've written the book in 100, a 120-page book in 15 minutes. I'm not going to recommend that. We take 8 hours to make sure you've done every step correctly and in the right way. And this absolutely changes everything. So I would say of that training, probably 5 to 6, maybe 7 for some people of those hours are around the writing part. But actually, it's what happens before you start writing that's important. The research, but also the training processes of making sure that AI is writing in your voice. So that is, a strategic direction where we kind of outline the concepts, the frameworks, and the messaging. This is your expertise, it's your knowledge, but we're getting AI to transform that into the managed manuscript for you in the first draft. And it's really about your input. Yes, you can use the process we're about to teach you in the 8 hours to write a book about something you know nothing about. But I don't recommend that, not from an ethical point of view, but also for yourself, because the book is a passport to other opportunities. And if you are not a true expert in your field and you get access to those other opportunities, it might end up making you look a little bit silly when people start to ask you questions around that topic. And then, of course, using AI to review and refine the book for you, because there are layers of producing this thing. Yeah, it's what it automatically produces after you've personalized it and trained it. But there are also the different layers of checking, fact checking, the ethical considerations, and making sure that everything in it is factually correct. And then, there's a part where once you've got that manuscript, you then inject stories and double check that it's really speaking in your voice, personal anecdotes, and dare I say it, adding a bit of vulnerability to it. Because there's nothing worse than an expert who tells you how to do everything perfectly and doesn't include the challenges they had along the way. And that will then mean that you'll have the final manuscript to polish in a way that truly reflects you, your story, your knowledge, and your vision. Now, if you don't have these strategies and you are not following these workflows and processes, there's a very large risk of having generic, low quality content. And we've all seen posts on social media, right, that are very obviously AI. Now, if the post is informative and delivers a solution, we don't really care very much. But I think when it comes to books, we want to see a certain level of quality and we want actually a transformation. That's an investment of time and money, buying that book and then sitting and reading it. At the end of that, we want to have some kind of transformation, whether it be knowledge transfer, mindset change, whatever that looks like. And if you haven't followed the right processes, you're going to have robotic, um, really uninspiring output. You're not going to have your authentic voice, which is absolutely crucial for your positioning as an expert. You're going to have a manuscript that doesn't convert. What does that mean? It means that once people have read it or read even a few pages and put it down, they're not going to want to work with you as a basis. We want them to read your book and really want to know, how do they engage with you further? How can they work with you? How can they partner with you? And then, of course, you're going to lose credibility. We write a book to gain credibility, not to have it detract. And how do we make sure that that happens? Well, it's what we mentioned before. It's the voice guardian. And this is such a critical part of the process, is actually making sure that the book reflects you. We want it to um, be absolutely in your voice. We want it to understand your mannerisms, the way that you communicate, and also make sure that it aligns with both your values, but really more importantly, the values of your reader. And the risk of having that structure in place, having those processes that make sure that your voice is guarded, well, we've already talked about it. It's lost and destroyed credibility, which is why I would say if you're not doing it in the right way, don't write a book with AI. It will have the opposite effect of, giving you a stronger position. It's going to lose reader trust. It's going to, detract from your authority, and it's going to miss the connection. You want it to grow your audience. And of course, it's a competitive disadvantage. You become known as a person with a lower quality of what you offer rather than a higher quality. So those are the processes and the steps that I went through, both with my own book and with the books of clients I've worked with on a one-to-one basis. And the results have been so good. I literally felt obligated to put it into a training. Now, as I said, I've had over 4,000 people now sign up to my AI training in some form or other. Hundreds of paying clients. As now on the shy side of just under 300, I think about 270, 280 people in our free community. And Sally, can you put the link to our free community in the chat for anyone who's not signed up there? You'll find loads of training, loads of prompts, workflows, all at no charge because we want to see your knowledge grow. But as pertains to this training itself, I'd like to just take a few minutes to tell you about what this training, the upcoming 8-hour training involves, and how you can get access to it. So it's an 8-hour training over 2 days. And yes, there's lifetime access to the recordings and to the workflows, the learning materials, and the videos. So you could actually do it as an on-demand course, but I love to do the training live with people so we can work together. My motto for our training is no woman left behind. And yes, that also includes men who support women, right? But if there are any self-sabotagers in the room, any, 70% finishers, not on my watch. We will make sure that at the end of this thing, you have your first draft. And at the end of those 8 hours, or we'll work with you until you do. Oh, no, I won't take it over and write it for you. I won't do that. But we're not going there. And what does that look like? How does that break down? Well, it's 1 to 2 hours of the positioning part, the research part, making sure that what you're about to write is actually viable and is something that will resonate with your audience. And then there's the, personalization part, and there's the making sure that AI understands your thought processes and will produce in your voice. And then there's the actual writing part. So it's a, 5 to 6 hours. I'm going to be honest, I've also done it in 2 hours, but I've also done it in 10 hours. So I would say an average of 5 to 6 hours. But that is also going to include showing you how to then afterwards use AI for the proofreading as well. So it's really making sure that AI takes the heavy lifting off of every single part of that. And when you traditionally write a book, it can take, I mean, those of you who've written a book or are in the process of writing a book, it can take you anywhere from a month to a decade, right? Or if you want to fast track it and you do hire a ghostwriter, from the lowest quality to the best quality is anything between 2 to 3 thousand to 30 to 50,000. It's a completely different ball game. But this course is £299 usually. But of course, you've invested your hour with me today, so I have to invest something back in you. Now, before I tell you what I'm going to offer you as a thank you for joining me here today, let me tell you what's actually included in this thing. So, of course, there's the full phase strategy that I just outlined. There are done for you workflows, one for each of those book structures, so that you know exactly step by step how to actually produce it. And there's nothing you have to think up. Yeah, you have to feed in your knowledge, but we show you exactly how to do that as well. And of course, all the prompts and instructions you need to give AI to produce the thing. And then, of course, there's a step-by-step implementation, and that's the live training. So we're not just, I'm not just telling you how to do this thing and then it's, yeah, go off and do it. We're actually doing it together in the 8 hours. And then, of course, there is the private community support. So during the training and after, there'll be a group that is exclusively around the book training, but also you'll have access to our free community as well. And then what I'm going to do this time round, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it for every one of these book trainings, but this time round, what I'm also going to do is after we finish the 8 hours, we're going to have four Q&A sessions, four weekly Q&A sessions. Because what I don't want you to do is write the book in 8 hours, right? And think, oh, yay, me, perfect. And then get really busy and lose accountability and have it sitting on your laptop for another year. I want to see you move forward with this. And let me be clear, the 8 hours is about writing the book. It is not about publishing it, the book. However, I am going to give you as a bonus a 30-day launch strategy, which you'll have to do on your own because that is actually a separate course, but I'm going to give you it for free. And it's the exact steps. Well, no, it's not exactly the exact steps. It's the steps I took to publish my book, but not including the mistakes I made, the things I didn't think about. It's the optimized steps I took to publish my book after I produced it. And then, as I said, you'll have lifetime access to the recordings of the 8 hours, to all of the workflows, all of the strategies, all of the prompts, and for as long as I'm alive, the free community. So, that's 8 hours of your life. And what will you have at the end of that? Well, of course, you'll have a complete market validated book. You'll have the author positioning. You'll also have the membership to our community, and there are a few people from our community here. They will attest it's an incredible community. Most importantly, you'll have a book in your authentic voice. and the strategic launch roadmap because, once you've actually written the thing, it's nice to know how to actually get it out there. And of course, the ongoing support, the month's worth of weekly Q&A sessions afterwards. Plus, our community has a previous participant from any of my training. They are able to come once per month to a community meeting where we share wins, ask questions, and support each other. That does unfortunately sometimes get cancelled if I'm in other training, but if I'm not in training, that's what you get. So I mentioned that, as a bonus for this specific training, you're going to get those extra free 4 Q&A sessions after the 8 hours. But what I'm also going to do to say thank you for joining me today is give you a £50 discount. So if you scan that QR code and then you enter that coupon code A2G-book-50, you are going to get a 50% discount. There is a tick on the side of the box, on the right-hand side of the box, where you enter the enter the coupon code. Once you've entered the coupon code, please do apply that tick. It's a blue or turquoise tick on the side, and then you'll see that the price will drop from 299 to 249. That will be available today only. Please do take advantage of it. So that is the end of this training. I hope that's given you not only an insight into the sort of processes and strategies I use to write a book in 8 hours with AI, but also to the huge competitive advantages that you're going to get as a result of joining my training. So let me stop sharing my screen now and come back to all of you. And I'd love to hear what you think about what you heard. So let me go. Oh, Maureen, hello, darling. Would you like to unmute and tell us what you thought?
Yeah, brilliant idea. I've actually started working on my book.
Ah,
So I thought it was the perfect timing when I saw the advert for this. Yeah, I want to put a bit more structure around it and so I've done the research and everything, to be honest. Added my own voice, stories, whatever. But it's just collating everything and just dressing it up properly.
well,
And
Maureen, do you remember? So
mm,
Maureen's a previous participant of another training, my
yes.
beginner's boot camp. And do you remember at the beginning of that boot camp, you said, well, I'm quite good with AI. I know the right strategies. I use it a lot. And by the end of the boot camp, what did you say, Maureen?
Oh, that I needed to have come to the training and that I needed to learn more. So yeah.
So you see the difference between
Mhm.
using AI or feeling you're using AI the right way
Oh,
before the support
absolutely.
and after. And it's the same with the
Absolutely.
book. Two
Yes.
years ago, as I said, I wrote a book using AI,
Mm.
using ChatGPT, and I produced the whole book in 15 minutes. And then I went back and did it again in an hour and again. And the quality of it is night and day compared to the book that I just published on Amazon. It's a
Mm.
different universe. So trust me, whatever you think you know, I guarantee you, come
Mm.
to the book training
Yeah,
and
I'm
have a
definitely coming on
conversation.
it. Definitely.
Have a
Such
co-
perfect
have a
timing for me.
conversation with me afterwards. And Maureen,
Yeah.
also, the 50% discount I just mentioned,
Mm.
that's for people who have not been on my training before. As a
Hmm.
previous participant, you
Mm.
get a 45, sorry, not 50%, £50 discount. As a
Yes.
previous participant, you get a 45% discount.
Okay,
So,
fantastic.
Sally, could you reach out to Maureen so that with the 45% discount for the previous participants, that means you'll be getting the training for £165, Maureen,
Mm. Yeah.
instead of
Awesome.
250. Thank you,
Awesome.
Sally.
Yeah.
Lavinia,
Thank
yes,
you.
please.
Hello, hello. That's great. What you presented, and you're absolutely right. We don't know what we don't know, so we sometimes think, I understand AI. I'm using it well in my business, and then you go on a training, and then a whole new world opens up to you. So,
Absolutely. But that works two ways, Lavinia, right? You don't know what you don't know about what I'm about to teach you, but you also don't know if you can trust what I'm saying, which is
mm,
why I give a satisfaction guarantee. I do not stop working with you until you have that first manuscript. And the
mm,
reason I can give that guarantee is because I know you will have your first manuscript at the end of that 8 hour training.
I like that. So two questions. The
Yes,
first
please.
one is that you talked about Manus. So can you just talk more about why you use Manus
Yes.
versus ChatGTP or Claude? And if we wanted to just stick, because you talk about a voice, like I've been using ChatGTP, that's my preferred LLM, and I feel like it knows my voice quite well. It's got lots of my
Mm.
details in. So why use Manus and not ChatGTP, for example?
Because the quality is so much better. The
Okay.
output of what you get is so much better. And for example, my chat GPT, I've got all my memory tick boxes on so it knows me, right?
Mm,
But I uploaded the right information to a project in Manus, and the difference is night and day because Manus is powered essentially around general agentic AI. It it's everything it's doing is working in the background on layered agentic AI workflows. So it's continuously putting things together that ChatGPT will only do if you ask it to do, or you click on the agent mode. And the
right.
agent mode, depending on the level of ChatGPT you're in, the agent mode will go very, very quickly.
Mm,
Now, Manus, this morning, I spoke to the assistant of the CMO, Chief Marketing Officer at Manus.
mhm.
And she promised me something, but I don't know if it's going to happen in time for this boot camp. She promised that in the future, the attendance of my training will get 1 week free of like full service Manus. But I don't know if
Awesome.
she's going to be able to make that happen by However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be really cheeky. I'm going to say, can I get that for my previous participants as well, please?
Mhm. Well,
And if
prayer
I do,
warriors
I'm
on
coming
this
back for
call,
you guys. I'm coming back for you.
prayer warriors on this call, let's pray that she can put it out the bag. And that would be amazing. And
Absolutely. Absolutely.
the
Well,
other,
it's a no-brainer for them because
yeah.
manners is addictive.
Mm,
If you're playing around on it, you're like, well, this is not amazing. But if you have the right strategies and you use it in the right way, it's addictive because the results are incredible. It's night and day.
okay.
I'm very impressed and I'm very concerned that Manus is about has been bought by Meta. I hope it never changes. I say, I thought I was married to ChatGPT, but now I'm polyamorous. And I said at the beginning, one of my students had a sweatshirt made for me. It says on it, I dated ChatGPT, but I married Manus.
And the last thing I just wanted to ask, and obviously you can share it at the end if you want, but you said that you wrote your book. It'd be great to, you haven't mentioned the name of your book, a link. So put the
Called,
link of your
yes,
book.
Sally, can you put the link of my book, please, into the chat? It's called No Woman Left Behind. The Essential Guide to AI for Business for Women Solopreneurs.
Awesome
And it's
sauce.
and it's on Amazon. I haven't put it on Etsy or any of the other
Yeah.
platforms yet. I just haven't had time, but I will do.
Okay.
Thank you, darling. Yes, Maureen.
Yes, I was just going to support what you said about manners. You know, you were the one as well who introduced us. You put it on the group, and I went on manners. I've also introduced other people to manners. And I do training, and what it gives me is so different. I mean, so superior to what I get off from ChatGPT. So just wanted to support what you're saying, to say I totally recommend manners. If you're serious, you're into training, oh, it does all the background research for you, gives
Not
you
just
the
what,
research. You can actually
yeah,
go back to actually check the authenticity of the information that it's
it's the
given you.
speed as well, Maureen, isn't it? And
Exactly.
Maureen, you're absolutely right because the difference is, right, Manus produces funnels for me that are better quality than the ones I produce myself.
Mm.
And that is some next level stuff. That is next level. Maybe a web page here or a web page
Yeah.
there, but the whole funnel
Mm.
is mind blowing. So I absolutely agree, Maureen. Yes, please, Oliver.
Thanks. I just wanted to repeat myself because I noticed other participants have also made the same journey, like starting writing a book myself. That's why I got intrigued by you, by your marketing, whatever, say, let's try it out. And I used ChatGPT 5.2 thinking mode, which also
Mm.
gave me good results, by the way.
It
And
does.
that is
And you're right, Oliver, they have upped their game in ChatGPT, right? So when they brought out version 5, everything went completely wrong. It was glitchy, it
in the
wasn't
beginning.
intuitive, but 5.2 has absolutely upped its game, but it still only just compares with Manus
It
for
doesn't
what
matter.
I do.
That's why I'm here. I'm interested to have some inputs from you, especially, and also for the other from the other participants. Yeah, ideas. That's I'm in the
Absolutely.
process of say, but same. It's the same speed. You say I did it less than 8 hours, so we are
Okay.
on the same board.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
I mean, but there's experience which is very valuable. You have made and given to us with it course.
Oh,
So
thank you.
I'm always,
Thank you.
I'm always so amazed here for what you're doing here.
So, Oliver, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but we're coming to a close soon, and I've got a couple
Yeah.
of other hands up. So, if I may, I'm just going to jump over and make sure I get other people's input in as well, my darling. Um, Now tell me if I say your name wrong. Is it Olaniki?
You got it right. Thank you, Olanike. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful. I was introduced to your training to the Zoom by Faith, right. And
Great.
yeah, so I've really gained a lot. I've actually written a book, but I mean, I'm just here to learn, and in the future I'm going to be in your boot camp. So I'm really looking
Don't
forward.
forget, because you've written one book doesn't mean you haven't got four or five more inside you, darling. And
Thank you.
maybe it will be even quicker process. For
Oh, thank
sure,
you.
for sure.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so
Thanks.
welcome. You're so welcome.
Yeah.
Corinne Bugard. Hello, darling. Do you want to unmute and say hello? I haven't seen you forever. Oh, your sound's off, darling. Could anybody else hear her? Oh no. Yeah, your sound's not working. All right, play around with it and see if it works. But Corinne, please do join our free community so I can reach out there. Sally, could you put the link for the free community in the chat for me, please? So Anna, I see Anna's online as well. Anna, I know you signed up for the book training already. You were one of the first people to sign up. You want to unmute or are you multitasking? She, she'll be multitasking. She always is. Okay, well, let me ask Jenny, what did you think about what you heard?
Yeah, no, I definitely want to sign up. I was just thinking because it is actually on Saturday, I'm
Yeah.
going to be in a car going up to Leeds from 9 o'clock. And so I'm thinking, do I just join and listen? Well, because I'm not going to be able to do anything because
Until you're where you
yeah,
are. Well, don't forget that there's lifetime recordings, right? There's the Saturday, but then there's also the full Q&A, weekly Q&A sessions afterwards. So have a think about it. I think I will be doing it again this year, but I don't know for certain. I'm sure I might be able to get one more in this year because I've got my other beginners boot camps and the next level boot camps as well, and some other projects going on as well. But certainly, have a think and see what's the best fit for you, darling.
okay.
Faith, thank you for inviting Olenike. Sorry. How are you, darling?
Thank you. Sorry, I was a bit busy when you called. You
No,
mentioned
don't
my
you
name.
worry. Don't you worry. Everybody is multitasking these days, hon. It's not just you.
So, like,
Mahalia, how are you, darling?
I'm okay, thanks. Yeah, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. It's another level. And I've always wanted to write. Um, Start putting some thoughts together this year. Um, but when I saw your boot camp, when I saw this course, it was like, is it really? Yeah, it just come at the right time. There's just some
And
questions. Obviously, I'd love to ask if
please
what I
do.
want to
We'll
write.
ask here because your questions might be questions other people have as well.
I know it's nonfiction, but because I'm interested in menopause work and it's more addressing brown and black women. How is that? Um,
It's a
can I
perfect
do?
fit. It's a
Yeah.
perfect fit. It's non-fiction, and you saying that to me, I almost feel like it's a combination of the case study book structure and the
Yeah.
principles book structure, so that you can literally per chapter choose one case study, fictional or non-fictional, where you're telling the story of a woman's experience with that pain or challenge and a
Mm,
solution that's being presented in that chapter. So that works
yeah.
beautifully. That's
And I've,
one option.
yeah, and I've also started to last year I've actually gathered some live data in the
Amazing.
In Guyana and the Caribbean, getting some live data from women
That
across
is
the Caribbean and
amazing.
in the diaspora, how they, transition
So
through menopause.
two people that I want to say, and Sally, I'm always giving you extra jobs. I'm sorry. Sally, can you reach out to Dr. Zena and also to Lauren Sheeran and ask them if it would be okay for us to connect them with Mahalia? So
Okay.
Dr. Zena Gooding Broderick, she's also a participant. You may have met her actually in the next level training. I'm not sure. Um, she actually works with the NHS around research on Black health outcomes. So she's done some
Perfect.
projects with them, and she's very knowledgeable. Lauren Sheeran, she's a lovely Scottish lady, white lady. She is a global expert on menopause. This woman knows her stuff and she's incredible. She is absolutely incredible. And she's also been through the boot camp, the AI boot camp as well. And she's been around with us for a long time.
All
If
right.
she's not so busy, I think both of them would be really great people to speak about, let them know what you're planning and what you're thinking, and get some just good insights from them, because Lauren has killed it when it comes to menopause. And I think there's a few people out there, right? But there's something about your energy, Mahalia. You've got energy that I just trust, you know? And that is
Oh, thank you.
gold for marketing.
Thank
You've got
you.
a really unassuming, comforting, trustworthy energy that I think will really resonate when looking at sensitive topics like menopause. So yeah, please do have a word with them, and this is going to write your book for you. So please, if you're considering doing it, do it. And let me assure you as well, and it's the same for everybody. Some of my training is much more technical, right? So even the beginners boot camp and the next level boot camp, it's around using agentic AI, creating funnels, creating apps, um, online courses, producing videos, ebooks, all sorts of stuff that is a little bit more technical. This is more in depth in terms of the things you need to do. You absolutely must follow every step I show you in the training to produce a high quality output. The style you do it in is up to you, but the workflow itself, you can't miss any bits out. But it's really just one tool,
Sounds great.
a set of steps to follow. It's not learning how to use that app and that tool and that software like with the other training. It's a lot simpler for technophobes, I would say. So yeah, please do join us.
Yes, definitely.
Oh,
Definitely. So,
fantastic.
yeah.
Um, Candice B, are you one of my previous participants?
Who? Me?
No, Candice. Candice
Oh,
B. Do you want to unmute Candace and tell me, are you one of my previous participants?
Yes, I am. Hi,
It's
Sydney. I
you.
hope you're well. Yeah, I'm here multitasking. I'm so sorry. I
No
am
problem.
definitely interested in the boot camp, but it's just timing at the moment. So
Okay.
yeah, keenly will wait for your next opportunity. But yes, it's me. Thank you
Oh,
so
well,
much for
thank you for
everything you've
being with
done.
us, darling. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
All right. Well, listen, I think we can wrap it up now, unless anybody else has another question for me. Then I would say we can wrap it up now. Don't forget that you have the £50 discount today if you are not a previous participant, and a 45% percent discount if you are a previous participant. I cannot guarantee that I'm going to make the next offer for the next boot camp, but certainly for today, those offers stand. So, Sally, please make sure that we send everybody an email afterwards. Everyone, join the boot camp if you can. For sure, join the free community. The link is in the chat. Could you put that link in the chat again for me, please, Sally? Join our free community. That costs you nothing, and there's loads of value in there in terms of training, past masterclasses, workflows, templates, ebooks, lots of stuff, good stuff in there. And thank you so much for joining us, and have an amazing rest of your week.